Hello all, my name is Jason. Welcome to Tunes and Talk. If you're finding this channel and this little show for the first time, I'm so glad to have you on board. If you are a returning viewer or listener, welcome back. We are going to spend the next hour or so with a few tunes and a little talk, and hopefully leave you with a nice warm feeling inside, because that's what music does. I hope everyone's having a great week, great weekend, and staying safe, following the rules, getting vaccinated if you can. I know there's some restrictions still. If you can do it, do it. If you've got to wait, then please be patient. But we're going to lick this thing in the end. I promise you. Wait and see. I'm going to kick things off with a standard from the Great American Songbook. A couple of renditions that I am particularly fond of were recorded by the great Natalie Cole and the fabulous Miss Julie Budd. There was one for moonlit skies, I never winked back at fireflies. But now that the stars are in your eyes, I'm beginning to see the light. I never went in for afterglow or candlelight on the mistletoe. But now when you turn the lamp down low, I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark. That's a 4-alarm fire now. Never made love by lantern shine. I never saw rainbows in my wine. Now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to see the light. Used to ramble through the park, shadow boxing in the dark. Then you came and caused a spark. That's a 4-alarm fire now. I never made love a lantern shine. Never saw rainbows in my wine. Now that your lips are burning mine, I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to see the light. I'm beginning to see the light. Oh, what a dreadful attempt at scatting that was, right? In the middle of the song. I don't scat the whole shibby-dibby-doo-ah-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Yeah, not a gift I was blessed with. I have a couple of very, very accomplished jazz singer friends who can do that like they were born to it. But it is not in my wheelhouse, as they say. We had a wind event here in Palm Springs today. So forgive me if I'm a little raspy. It blows a lot of the sand and allergens and stuff around in the air, and I was outside for a little bit. And it's funny, we don't usually call them wind storms here unless they're really, really severe. We call them wind events. It sort of makes it sound like, it's a wind party, it's an event, it's a celebration. Yeah, well, trust me, it's not. But here's a celebration of great duets originally made famous by Patti Austin and James Ingram, two of my personal favorite recording artists. back in time when love was only in my mind, I realize there ain't no second chance. You gotta hold on to romance, don't let it slide. There's a special kind of magic in the air when you find another heart that needs to share. So baby, come to me. Let me put my arms around you. This was meant to be. And I'm so glad I found you. Need you every day. Gotta have your love around me, baby. Always stay. 'Cause I can't go back to living without you. Spending every dime to keep you talking on the line. That's how it was. And all those walks together out in any kind of weather, just because there's a brand new way of looking at your life when you know that love is standing by your side. Baby, come to me. Let me put my arms around you. This was meant to be. And I'm so glad I found you. Need you every day. Gotta have your love around me, baby. Always stay. 'Cause I can't go back to living without you. The night can be cold. There's a chill to every evening when you're all alone. Don't talk anymore, my love, 'cause you know that I'll be there to keep you warm. I'll keep you warm. So baby, come to me. Let me put my arms around you. This was meant to be. And I'm so glad I found you. Need you every day. Gotta have your love around me, baby. Always stay. 'Cause I can't go back to living without you. My love, my darling, my sweet one. This was meant to be. And I'm so glad I found you. Need you. I need you every day, baby. Always stay. 'Cause I can't go back to living without you. My love, my baby, my sweet one. This was meant to be. And I'm so glad I found you. Need you. I need you every day, baby. Always stay. 'Cause I can't go back to living without you. Written by Rod Temperton, as I recall. What an awesome song from the 80s. Recently on social media, I did a little tribute to 1980s R&B, because I think, well, for my money, the 1970s were far and away the best decade for music overall. It was a very eclectic decade, but certainly the greatest decade for the singer-songwriters. Dan Fogelberg and Carly Simon, Carole King, James Taylor, Elton John and Bernie Taupin, and so many more. Joni Mitchell was still recording. It's just such a great decade. However, if you're talking strictly R&B, the 80s have it. The 80s so have it for R&B. So many wonderful R&B divas, in particular, were really coming into their own, with people like Anita Baker and Janet Jackson and Phyllis Hyman and Regina Bell and Patti LaBelle having gone solo, and Diana Ross having gone solo, just on and on. Stacey Lattisaw, Deborah Laws, and Randy Crawford. It was such a great time to be listening to R&B, and I used to stay up late watching BET, Black Entertainment Television's Midnight Love. Every night it was an hour of Quiet Storm love songs, and man, some of the best music you'd ever hear. So that song there was a little nod to the greatest decade of R&B. Here's a little something from one of my favorite Latin lust puppies, who's like probably in his 40s now. Time flies. Enrique Iglesias. Do you remember me like I remember you? Do you spend your life going back in your mind to that time? 'Cause I walk the streets alone. I hate being on my own, and everyone can tell that I really fell, and I'm going through hell, thinking about you with somebody else. Somebody wants you, somebody needs you, somebody dreams about you every single night. Somebody can't breathe without you, it's lonely. Somebody hopes that someday you will see that somebody's me. That somebody's me. How did we go wrong? It was so good and now it's gone. And I pray every night that our paths soon will cross. What we had isn't lost, 'cause you're always right here in my thoughts. Somebody wants you, somebody needs you, somebody dreams about you every single night. Somebody can't breathe without you, it's lonely. Somebody hopes that someday you will see that somebody's me. You will always be in my life, even if I'm not in your life. 'Cause you're in my memory. You, when you remember me, and before you set me free, oh listen please. Somebody wants you, somebody needs you, somebody dreams about you every single night. Somebody can't breathe without you, it's lonely. Somebody hopes that someday we'll see that somebody's me. That somebody's me. That somebody's me. That somebody's me. Somebody's me. Such a plaintive song, a plaintive cry to someone who we left behind, or maybe who left us behind. It happens. So has live entertainment gotten cranked back up where you live? We are just starting in the very, very nascent stages here in Palm Springs. Of course, we're still in the purple tier of California's reopening plan, but the good news is that those COVID case numbers are tracking lower and lower. COVID deaths are lower and lower, hospitalizations lower and lower, so love to see those numbers going down. And meanwhile, vaccinations are tracking up. Yay, on the right track. And a couple of venues have begun to offer live music outdoors with the performing artist socially distanced and then some, away from the crowd. So still an opportunity to try and keep everyone safe, but sort of maybe test the waters for live music again. I certainly miss it. Virtual music is great, don't get me wrong. I love having this this format and this venue to be able to sing for you, and to watch so many of my friends, Bill Ramirez and Francesca Amari and Jeff Stewart and Marsha Harp, Alan John, Joel Baker, so many wonderful talents here in the Valley, Julie Lazari, who are singing in virtual concerts, one sort or another, but I do miss the live experience. Here's an old song. Forgive me, that's the desert wind effect on my voice. Here's an old song by Janice Ian, and I came to know it when it was recorded by Bette Midler as the title track to an album of hers that came out sometime back in the 80s. Same album that had Wind Beneath My Wings on it, as I recall. I'm going to use a little lyrics cheat sheet because it's been so long since I've sung this. Some people's lives run down like clocks. One day they stop, and that's all they've got. Some lives wear out like old tennis shoes. No one can use. What can you do? Didn't anybody tell them? Didn't anybody see? Didn't anybody love them like you love me? Some people's eyes fade like their dreams, too tired to rise, too tired to sleep. Some people laugh when they need to cry, and they never know why. Didn't anybody tell them that's not how it has to be? Didn't anybody love them like you love me? Some people ask if the tears have to fall, then why take your chances? Why bother at all? And some people's lives are as cold as their lips. They just need to be kids. Doesn't anybody tell them? Doesn't anybody see? doesn't anybody love them like you love me? 'Cause that's all they need. Kind of sad, very bittersweet. But you know, it's true. A lot of times we take it for granted that the people in our lives know that they're loved. But it can be very easy to start doubting that, especially in a situation like we've been in for the last year. God, it's been a year. When we're isolating and quarantining and not able to have the physical in-person contact, not being able to hug our friends or just go out for lunch or go grab a coffee or whatever like we did prior to all this pandemic stuff. And so it's so important to let people know that yes, you're still here and you're still thinking about them, that they're still in your heart, they're still on your mind, and they're still a part of your life. Sometimes even just a phone call or even a text, just, hi, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you and sending you some love. Hope you're having a good day. Sometimes that can just turn someone's day around for the better. So remember that. Put it to good use. I'm counting on you. And so are the people in your life. Oh my goodness, what's next? What's next? Every time I do one of these Tunes and Talk episodes, I like to try at least one new song. Something that I've never tried before, or maybe it's something that I might have tried, years ago at karaoke one night when it was late and there was nobody else in the place. But this one is brand spanking new for me. I love the song, always loved it, never really considered singing it, and I stumbled across it recently when I was down the YouTube rabbit hole. You know how that goes. You sign on to YouTube to look up, gardening tips, and 3 hours later, you're watching the life and times of, Fred Gwynn from the Munsters. So this is a song that was originally recorded by Millie Jackson, great R&B singer. But this arrangement is the arrangement that I was first exposed to and still prefer by the great Barbara Mandrell. And who knows, maybe some of you have found yourself in this situation before. And since this is my first time singing this, again, I'm going to cheat sheet it here. So forgive me if I'm not connecting with you so much as I am on some other songs. But here we go. Sometimes in your life, you may find that it hurts to be in love, especially when the one you love and you both belong to someone else. You're tied to her, I'm tied to him, and we don't want to hurt either one of them. That's how it is when you're married, but not to each other. You gotta go home in the middle of the night, try and pretend everything's alright, but it ain't, no it ain't. When you're married, but not to each other. Make believe that you've been good, give your love to the one you should, but you can't, no you can't. 'Cause you're tied to her and I'm tied to him, we don't want to hurt either one of them. So what can you do, what can you do when you're married, but not to each other. You gotta be careful everywhere you go. Try to avoid everyone you know, 'cause people talk, you know they talk when you're married, but not to each other. You gotta make up alibis, hoping they don't sound like lies, 'cause if you get caught, then you might get caught. Hurry up and love him, hurry up and please him. When it gets right, you gotta leave him. You better leave him. Cause you're tied to her and I'm tied to him. We don't want to hurt either one of them. That's how it is. That's how it is when you're married, but not to each other. Hurry up and love him, hurry up and please him. When it gets right, you gotta leave him. You better leave him when you're married, but not to each other. Hurry up and love him, hurry up and please him. When it gets right, you gotta leave him. You better leave him. Married, but not to each other. Oh, you know what? For your sake, I hope you've not found yourself in that scenario. And it reminds me of another old song by England Dan and John Ford Coley, whom I've always loved. They put out some great music way back when. A song called Sad to Belong. You remember that? Oh, it's sad to belong to someone else when the right one comes along. That would kind of suck, right? Oh yeah, you're married, you're all settled into your cozy little life with someone you really couldn't give a rip less about, and all of a sudden, bam! Someone comes into your life that you just know you were meant to be, but you've got your foot stuck in that big old steel trap. Do you gnaw it off, or do you just sit in the trap? It's a choice you gotta make. What's next? What's coming up next? Well, sometimes it isn't like that. Sometimes you find exactly that person that you were meant to be with at exactly the right time. And that time may have been a long time coming. My friends Francesca Mori, fabulous entertainer, Francesca Mori, and her husband Dan, they knew each other in high school, then each pursued different lives, each got married, eventually divorced, and eventually found each other again, and fell head over heels, got married, and they've been together ever since for a number of years now. And this song, Francesca said, was played at their wedding because it sort of symbolized their relationship, and I love that. So maybe this song speaks to you and your significant other as well. But that's not the one. This is the one. I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two, wiped my brow and kept pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God blessed the broken road, led me straight to you. I think about the years I missed, just passing through. I'd like to have the time I lost and give it back to you. But you just smile and take my hand. You've been there, you understand that it's all part of a grander plan that is coming true. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God bless the broken road, led me straight to you. Now I'm just rolling home in my lover's arms. This much I know is true, that God blessed the broken road, led me straight to you. That God blessed the broken road, led me straight to you. Bless the broken road. I think it was Rascal Flatts who recorded that. It might have been. Actually, I think it might have also been Brooks and Dunn. I know there were a couple of songs I do that were recorded by both Rascal Flatts and Brooks and Dunn. I believe that's Rascal Flatts' arrangement. Pardon me as I refill up on my throat coat tea. The singer's best friend. Yes, I was an advertising major in college, can't you tell? Oh my. I mentioned a little while ago how much I love the 1970s. Such a great decade for music. And no discussion of 1970s music would ever be complete without mentioning the Captain and Tennille, right? Love Will Keep Us Together, Lonely Night, Muskrat Love, Circles, the wedding song, Do That to Me One More Time. Just hit after hit after hit. They were such a great performing duo and such a great couple. You really believed that love would keep them together, and it did for a lot of years, until eventually she divorced him, and then he died. Nobody lives forever, but their music will live on forever. Like this one. Adjust here. I never wanted to touch a man the way that I want to touch you. I never wanted to love a man the way that I want to love you. You are sunshine, you are shadow, you are morning, you are night. You are hard times, you are good times. You are darkness, you are light. I never wanted to give a man the things that I want to give you. I never wanted to live with a man the way that I want to live with you. You are sunshine, you are shadow, you are morning, you are night. You are hard times, you are good times. You are darkness, you are light. I never want to touch a man the way that I want to touch you. The way that I want to touch you now. The way that I want to touch you. The way that I want to touch you now. The way that I want to touch you. The way that I want to touch you now. The way that I want to touch you. The way that I want to touch you now. The way that I want to touch you. Trivia question. What was the captain's actual name in The Captain and Tennille? Anyone? Anyone? Daryl Dragon. A lot of times if they were performing, Tony Tennille would mention Daryl, this is my husband Daryl, and Daryl's going to play, but Daryl Dragon. What a great name. I mean, how cool would it be to be named Daryl Dragon? And of course, they both had the alliteration thing going with Tony Tennille and Daryl Dragon. Maybe that was the secret of how they stayed together so long. You never know. Sometimes it's the little things that keep people together. Oh, what's next? Bear with me. I've got my list, but I'm using 3 different forms of music player tonight, so I'm bouncing back and forth between them. And I am so not a tech person. My favorite saxophonist and fantasy husband, the great Dave Koz, was recently doing a live stream on social media from his Sausalito home, because he has a home there as well as in LA. And he said something that really sums up my life and my view of the world. He said, I am an analog guy in a digital world. I said, oh my God, that is so me. I am such an analog guy in this digital world. I miss landlines with answering machines instead of cell phones. If I have a clock or a watch, I want it to be an analog with an actual clock face with hands that go around, move around in a circle. Not really a fan of digital clocks or digital watches. I have a couple, But it's like the clock on my microwave, but that's a built-in with the apartment. But yeah, something about analog technology really appeals to me. I'm very old school. I'm a writer, I'm a playwright, and have written a novel, several short stories, working on my next novel. And I write everything in longhand, and then eventually go back and type it all up on a computer. It's just something about the feel of a pen in my hand. And I write in cursive, which should never have been taken out of the school system. Oh, these so-called educators and school boards. Like most of the teachers I know are still in favor of teaching cursive writing. This song was written and recorded by a marvelous artist named Beth Nielsen Chapman. Now, you may have heard a number of Beth Nielsen Chapman's songs over the years, but not realized that that's what you were hearing because somebody else had recorded it. But she has had a pretty prolific recording career herself, recording her own songs. A couple that were hits on the adult contemporary charts. All I Have. All I have is all I need, and it all comes down. Avalanche. You Hold the Key. You hold the key. Yeah. But this one is particularly poignant, and I'm told it was used on the series finale for Dawson's Creek, a TV show I never watched, but apparently was very popular, and positively rife with teen angst. I had enough angst in my own teen years. I don't need to witness someone else's on TV. But this song is called Say Goodnight. Say goodnight, not goodbye. You will never leave my heart behind. Like the path of a star, I'll be anywhere you are. In the spark that lies beneath the coals, in that secret place inside your soul, keep my light in your eyes. Say goodnight, not goodbye. Don't you fear when you dream, waking up is never what it seems. Like a jewel buried deep, like a promise meant to keep. You are everything you want to be, so just let your hand reach out for me, and I'll be right by your side. Say goodnight, not goodbye. You are everything you want to be. So just let your heart reach out for me. And keep my light in your eyes. Say goodnight, not goodbye. Say goodnight, not goodbye. Say goodnight. The awesomely talented Beth Nielsen Chapman. Put her on your radar if she's not already. A couple of albums I would recommend. One is, I believe the album title is, it might be the, let me think. It's called Sand and Water, but that might be the title track to the album, or the title track might be The Color of Roses. Both songs are on the album, but I think the album is called Sand and Water. But anyway, the other one is You Hold the Key, and then of course just her self-titled album, Beth Nielsen Chapman, that has All I Have and Avalanche, which is such a hauntingly wonderful song, and Take It As It Comes, Life Holds On is on You Hold the Key. It's such a wonderful lyricist. I mean, the music is terrific, but she really has a gift for lyrics, and I'm a lyrics guy. Give me a song that tells a great story, and well, I'm sucked in just like that. So, speaking of which, we have another Barbara Mandrell song. I like Barbara Mandrell. I love so much of her music, and she and I have just about the same range. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's probably good for me and not so good for her. But she's retired. She's made her money. She's happy. And I promise I'm going to wrap this up tonight on an up note. So don't think I'm just going to leave you with all these sad songs. But I love sad songs. Faded photographs, the feelings all come back. Even now, at times, you still feel so near. And I still see your face like it was yesterday. Strange how the days turned into years. Years of hanging on to dreams already gone. Years of wishing you were here. And after all this time, you'd think I wouldn't cry. It's just that I still love you. After all these years, nighttime gently falls, another day is gone. I turn around to find you're still not here. I leave the whole light on in case you come back home. Funny, I've been saying that for years. Years of hanging on, the dreams already gone. Years of wishing you were here. And after all this time, you think I wouldn't cry. It's just that I still love you. After all these years, after all these years. Years. Such a tearjerker, one of those heartfelt country heartbreak songs. I love them. I am such a sucker for a heartbreak song. Not like, Heartbreak Hotel, because, there's no heartbreak in there. Since my baby left me. That's not heartbreak. Where's the pain? Where's the passion? Oh, give me a song that speaks to pain. Not that causes pain. I've heard plenty of those, believe me. But one that speaks to the pain of being a spiritual being trapped in a human body, living a human existence. Oh my goodness. But it's not all about pain. Sometimes it's about pleasure and good times and happiness. And before I wrap it up with a song of that ilk, just wanted to thank you all for tuning in. And I hope you have a great week. And if you can, get vaccinated. I hope you do. I work a day job that includes food service. I have to keep a food handler certification card and deal with putting food in the public's hands daily when I'm at work. So luckily, that made me eligible to go ahead and get my first vaccine shot yesterday. I will say this, the injection site over here is incredibly sore, so much so that I couldn't even lift my arm this morning to put on my antiperspirant. I'm like ramming my antiperspirant up inside my armpit because I couldn't lift my arm even shoulder height, let alone above my head. But it is all worth it. We're gonna come out of this pandemic, and I hope that we will all come out with a new sense of gratitude for the little things in our life, like being able to hug a friend, or being able to just go window shop without having to worry about, am I at least 6 feet from the other customers? Did I remember to take my mask? I hope that we will not take live music or live theater for granted anymore. I hope that we will recall the joy of just going to the movies. I know a lot of stuff's streaming now, and the movie industry is worried that movie theaters are not going to come back. But you know, there's something about going to a cinema and seeing a movie, you know, with a group of people, or even if you're the only one in the cinema, which is how I like to see movies, seeing it on that big screen in the dark. There's a kind of magic about that, and maybe this past year has shown us, if nothing else, how we've been taking things like that for granted, and how grateful we should be, and hopefully will be, to be able to do them again. So, as I sing us out of here with this last song in the barrel, which I probably don't sing very well, but that's okay. You can go ahead and sign off now if you don't want to hear it, but hopefully it will be a nice up song to lift our spirits, to get us through another week. Your love has lifted me higher than I've ever been lifted before. Your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Now once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. Then you came, he soon departed, and he's never shown his face again. Your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Oh, at last I finally found you. You're that one in a million men. And when you wrap your loving arms around me, I can stand up and face the world again. Your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up and quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Your love keeps lifting me higher that I've ever been lifted before. Your love, and the love of all the wonderful people in my life for whom I am so grateful. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful couple of weeks. And we will do this all again next time. Peace. Love you.